Hey guys, so welcome to another video of my YouTube channel. So you can see the setup behind me, and this is actually going to be a bit different video. One of my biggest goals in 2025 is to help as many as people as possible and to grow the people around me, because if I was to just get all this knowledge on my own, I could still do it. But the other part is that to grow the people around me and to build a good society where people would start chasing their dreams, start chasing their passions on the same time, I could grow my goals as well. So this is actually going to be a really cool episode, trust me. This content is basically inspired from the book named No Excuses by one of my favorite authors of all time, Brian Tracy. The book actually begins by, one of the quotes that literally made me think, the road to hell feels like heaven. So right after you watch this content, there aren't any more excuses. You have to get either things done or just don't do it. Just don't find excuses for not doing things. This is something that literally happened with me, and this is something I've seen happening every time. You say, for example, you're on the deadline to get things done. You always find excuses to not get it done. you know this is what leads to stress or tensions or panics and things like that. So right after this content, it's either do it now or don't do it. So from reading this book, what I understood was one of the biggest things that separated the rich people and the poor people is habits. The habits that the rich people had and the habits that the poor people had. Rich people had habits that literally made them hungry. Hungry is the drive to do more, to have more, and to become more. In order to become the best version of yourself, or in order to achieve your dream life, or in order to achieve your goals, not the goals, I mean goals, you have to become the person that people wouldn't think of. You have to become the best version of yourself. You have to start doing things that you haven't done before. You have to prioritize your sleep or prioritize, working out and things like that. There's actually a famous quote by a very famous writer, Edward Hubbard, and the quote goes like this: self discipline is the ability to do what you should do when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. So you have to get things done. There are actually two enemies that's actually preventing you from becoming successful. First one is actually the path of least resistance, and second one is the expediency factor. What is the path of least resistance? So the path of least resistance simply causes people to take the easy way almost in every situation. So for example, you have to get things done in a bit harder way. You'll be like, oh no, might do it in a bit easy way. Some people, in order to not call it the lazy way, some people call it smart work. But there's actually a difference between smart work and getting things done in a lazy way. Second one is the expediency factor. Expediency factor is pretty much followed by the path of least resistance. So the expediency factor is actually a principle that states that people invariably seek the fastest and the easiest way to get the things they want right now, with the least or little concern of not thinking about the future, or not thinking about the consequences of their long-term behaviors. So in order to achieve your goals, you have to take control of yourself. That's the best thing to do. So it's basically, I would say, self-discipline is your ability to think, plan, and execute and work hard in the short term, and to discipline yourself to do what is right and necessary before you do what is fun and easy. That, to me, that's like one of the best ways to create a wonderful future for yourself. So now let's jump into the next part. That's actually the short-term gain, which is actually causing you the long-term pain, and how it is actually happening. How is actually the short-term gains that you get? Say for example, you achieve something in 2 days or in 3 days, but how is actually affecting it in your long-term run, or how is it actually causing a long-term pain? This can be explained with two laws. One is the law of unintended consequences. It's really hard for me to say the word unintended. So the law of unintended consequences, and second one is the law of purpose consequences. So what is the law of unintended consequences? So the law simply states that the unintended consequences of an action can be far more worse than the intended consequences of the behavior, because of the lack of long-term thinking. Say, for example, you wanted to get things done in 6 months. You reduce all the tasks, take the lazy steps, you get it done in 3 months. But what is pretty much going to happen is, in the long run, that's going to burn you out, or that's going to literally cause a lot of pain for you. So it is always important to think long term. For, say, for example, you are someone who's running a marketing agency, or you are someone who's doing a drop shipping store. You always have to see the vision, or how are you going to build your business and exit from the business, or how is your business going to create a value rather than just becoming someone else in a market that's so saturated. Second one is the law of perverse consequences. So what is the law of perverse consequences? The law simply states that a short-term action aimed at immediate gratification or an instant gratification can lead to perverse or the opposite results from those at which it was aimed. This is what I was saying. So, say, for example, you wanted to get X things done, and in 6 months, you pretty much wanted to get the result in 6 months. You went for the easy way. You went for the easiest ways, which is not smart work, which is more of a lazy work. You wanted X results and you got Y results. So can you blame yourself? No, because this is what happens when you follow the law of perverse consequences. One of the most distinguished things, like I said in the beginning of this video, that separates the successful people and the not so successful people is the habits that make the successful people more hungry towards a goal. So, in short, I can say successful people are more concerned with the positive long-term consequences of their behavior. And, people around you, friends who are completely broke, they're more worried about what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen day after tomorrow. So I would say you have to be someone who's goal achieving and not tension relieving. You have to achieve your goals. So in order to get these things done, the best thing for you to do is you have to take control of yourself. Let this video be a motivation for you to become the best version of yourself by the end of 2025. And like I said in my previous videos, one of my biggest goals in 2025 is to help you guys watching this video to become the best version of yourself. So if you guys like this video, subscribe the channel, and let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments on my Instagram. See you guys in the next video.